grab your wellies and get ready for a right old knees up in Dromore West, County Sligo. It's the Homesteaders Hoolie, 2 days of pure crack. Hosted by the one, the only, James Conway, the larger-than-life legend of the James Conway Experience podcast. This isn't just any festival. It's a proper celebration of the good life. Expect jaw-dropping talks from heavy hitters like John Waters and The Long Acre, spilling wisdom that'll make you think, laugh, and maybe even cry. Want skills to make your granny proud? We've got demonstrations galore. Tin smithing that'll spark your inner artisan, horse plowing like it's 1825, beekeeping for the honey lovers, hydroelectricity to light up your eco dreams, and basket making so you can carry all your newfound swagger. And that's just the start. We'll have every soul tapping and singing. So grab your early bird tickets before they are gone, and see you there.
Not all superheroes wears capes. Some wear wellies.
By the wonderful Peter McCardle from Only Firms, and we're delighted to have him here in Sligo tonight. Thank you for coming from Louth, Peter.
Thanks for having me, James. Thank you. Good to see you.
And I take these off for people who accuse me of being cool. I don't want that.
I'm hip.
I'm hip. Hit me hip to the groove. How was your journey up?
Wasn't too bad now.
Yeah.
Traffic wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
Bit of a tip there, and just coming before Carrick and Shannon.
Yes.
But roads are grand, dead on.
Yeah, Carrick is a bit of a bottleneck, anyways, to try and get
through,
so it is.
Well, other than that, no, it was grand, didn't it? Like 3.5 hours.
That's the style of it.
Yeah,
well,
cruised over the road.
I know you as Only Firms from
you do indeed.
TokTok. I enjoy watching you on your John Deere hauling barley and pumping slurry and the whole lot of it.
Full-time
rooting. When did it start? When did you start this TikTok?
I started a TikTok, I think, maybe during COVID. I think I got a GoPro for Christmas, the previous Christmas, and just started sticking up in the cab of the tractor with me and making videos and that. And at that point, I was using my own name, McCardle Agri Productions, and videos started to get a few likes here and there and passed no remarks. But like originally, I was laughing at people on TikTok. I was like, I'm not using that shite. Like, why am I going to bother with?
Yeah.
Started making videos, and then I was like, sure, I'll get a drone. Yeah. Got a drone, started videoing a few contractors around, a few farmers, and kind of just took off.
And would you would you ever be in contact with Morris, the Long Acre?
No, I haven't been in contact with him.
He's looking for a videographer.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, if you give him my number, then
could be the right.
Could be a new job for me.
Make up there, yeah.
Yeah, well, I do follow Morris now, and he's got very interesting. Like,
yeah,
he's nice set up there, and
he's nice.
He stands for us.
Yeah, he stands for good stuff too.
Yeah,
so just
good countryman.
So what's it called? You're working as well.
I work as a technician in the factory. Yeah,
good man.
Shift work there, and then when I'm not there, I'm farming or videoing or whatever has to be done.
On the go. So
someone has to be. Yeah.
Someone
has to feed the world. You know, as I say, I'm only a part-time farmer, full-time charmer. That's what you tell the women anyway. But
tell us on the farm, you do tillage.
Yeah, we're tillage and beef at home. Our farm is in Termonfeck in County Louth.
Yeah,
my father's farming at home, and I'm doing a bit of part-time with him.
Yeah.
And we are growing winter barley, spring barley, and then we're finishing cattle. Buy the cattle in as stores or weanlings and finish them. Try mainly be continental breeds like Charlies or Limousines or Smantles, but mostly Charlies because a few Limousines are a bit psycho.
Do you sell at weanling stage or do you fatten them?
No, we fatten them to kill them.
Good man.
Sell them then to the factory.
Good.
Our board be approved and all that, so we can go wherever we want.
Good stuff.
So it's not so bad.
And you're feeding your own
feeding our own grain. Now we buy a bit of ration out of the local merchant, but maybe only half a kilo of that per bullock, and then we're topping it up with our own barley.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So what's the point? Like if you're selling barley to them, say €230 a ton, and you're buying meal back up the road at $260 a ton, makes no sense.
Yeah.
So you're as well just to roll it yourself.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So.
And you roll your own barley?
Roll ourselves. Yeah, we get a neighbour of ours there. Very good. He gives us the end of his roll, and we walk away with that.
Very
handy
good.
Job. Roll 7 or 8 ton at a time and tip away.
How do you work the drying then? Do you have a grain dryer?
We don't dry it. No, we try and cut it when it's at low enough moisture. Usually burn it off at Roundup, and then we have it on air all winter. Yeah, so when we're tipping the loads in the shed, we'll put big corrugated pipes standing up straight, and we'll push the load up against it, and then we'll have a fan on each top of each of them pipes.
Very good.
Good job, yeah. And then
it's the tillage down this direction wouldn't be as you know, as common. I suppose it's down to land quality.
Land quality, yeah.
Galway now, there'll be a bit of tillage, right, yeah.
I thought once you cross the Shannon, there wouldn't be as much.
No, it's a bit around Galway, and I think up Donegal direction, there's...
a good lot of spuds growing around Donegal.
Yeah. There's around, where is that name of it? I think it's Letterkenny or that. I think there does be a bit up there.
A few neighbours of ours used to be at the spuds, and you remember them getting the seed from Donegal, I think.
Yeah. I think that's down to... It's froshed or something. They don't. It's grown in a very specific area, Donegal. I don't think they get much.
Style type or something. Yeah, I wouldn't know much about it now.
Yeah,
Father used to plant spuds years ago. Used to do a good lot of planting spuds. So all that kind of.
He got out of the spuds though. He did.
Yeah, he was working. We only working with another contractor. Your man was more so in there. He was just giving him a hand.
And you to be contracting then for other farmers in the area.
Yeah, a friend of me brothers there, McCard, Agri, I do give them a hand. We get slurry with them and silage and stuff like that. And then neighbours of mine, they're dairy farmers. They cut all their own silage. I do the mowing for them and whatever else.
Very good.
That neighbour, I started with him when I was only 14, 15, doing the cubicles and feeding calves and stuff like that. So kind of still floating around when he needs a hand. Good. It's good to be still involved, isn't it?
Yeah.
You still get a good buzz there coming the first week of May. Silage is kicking off.
It's surprising though, like, there's great lads like yourself who are working full time, working on the farm, working for neighbours, all the rest of it. And I go out and look around and you'd hear fellas, I can't get anything. And then you'll find fellas that have 7 balls up in the air at the one time.
There's plenty of work out there, like if you're willing to work. Like if I lost my job in the morning, you'd go and you'd sweep the roads if you had to, like, or build blocks. You do what you have to do.
Yeah.
Sure, you learn a new skill every day if you try something new.
It's nice, don't you, hear someone with that attitude, you know?
Like at home there, like we'd fix everything ourselves, and most of the sheds we built them ourselves around the yard and do everything ourselves. Like,
are you doing up a little Ford at the moment?
Doing up a 1964 Fortson Super Dexter, new performance one, yeah.
Very good.
She's in the middle. I bought that tractor in September off a man in County Dublin. I just put a post up on Facebook and he says, sure, come up and have a look at it. Went up and sure, she's in bits. Back end was missing out of it. All the hydraulic lids were missing. They're all scattered around the shed, and that was grand. We did the deal. And I came home with the tractor and 2 spud boxes full of parts. Brand new parts, old parts, everything. Yeah. Brought it home, and we have our going there now.
Oh, very good.
And we're going to respray her when we get a chance.
You say you'll have to sandblaster and spray.
I'm going to sandblaster, yeah. My father, my uncle on my mother's side, he has the grandfather's original Ford 3000, and he wouldn't part with it. I don't really mind. I wanted to buy it, he wouldn't part with it, so that's fair enough. And I always wanted a Dexter, and my father was telling me they used to have a brand new Dexter when he was growing up, so why not get one of them?
I had a 4610. They were rare enough.
Yeah, they'd be rare enough. So she had the H column box, the gear stick up.
Yeah, she was the Rubik's Cube one.
The Rubik's Cube, yeah.
But this one was the X block. Do you know, there was meant to be a flat block and an X block.
Yeah, the X block was the 10 series, yeah. We actually put an X block in that. We have a 7600. She threw a conrod out through the side of the block there at the start of the year.
Under pressure, so.
She wasn't even. He only started and he was going for a run down the field with the ring roller and she just blew.
Oh, fuck. Was there big hours on it?
Jeez, I don't know. He's that tractor longer than I'm alive.
The clock is probably...
Clock's been around that many times it stopped.
Yeah.
But that tractor'd never be sold.
Yeah.
That's my father's favourite joke.
We had a 240 like that. There was 3,700 hours on it, but it stopped moving in 97. We didn't know how many hours it had done. It wasn't overly abused because it was a small farm, you know.
Yeah, them wee tractors, they'll go forever, like.
Yeah.
And if you've the right man on them, they'll go anywhere.
Well, that's just the comfort isn't there.
No.
That's the only difference.
Even lads who get hard to drive my John Deere.
Yeah.
Not enough comfort now. They need the Command Pro and the...
what year is your one?
1999. She came out of France. Fella I bought it off, brought it in out of France and parked in the shed for 2 years and...
Don't be a hint of rushing or nothing on that.
Like, a little bit on the steps and stuff. But only after rebuilding the gearbox and that, she threw a synchro there when we were finished up sewing.
Yes.
So we tilted the cab on her, pulled the box out and rebuilt the box.
So you'd be a big proponent for the John Deere and the modern tractor, would you?
Well, I'd be a Ford man.
Would you?
Yeah.
Still?
Oh, blue, yeah. Grew up with blue.
Yeah.
I'd probably go back blue now. I had a 7810 before that John Deere. Brought her in from Holland and restored her.
What out of the New Hollands now that you'd be looking at, would you say that is a nice
Oh, I need the T7s. I need the new T7s are nice.
Yeah.
Friend of mine bought a lovely T6090 there. Beautiful tractor. Power command. But I'd still like a bit of my old school, like a TM155.
Yeah.
Be a great joke, yeah. range command, if you can get it.
They were.
Or they always power command, I'm not sure, but...
It was mostly fellas up here that would be kind of digger work on that had them, do you know? Because you did have the size for braking and, you know.
Yeah.
God, they were a good tractor, though.
Oh, just we have a TM135. My father bought it. Must be over 20 years ago now.
Yeah.
Never give a bit of trouble. Touch wood.
Yeah.
Probably blow up now.
So you'll find wood around here, no bother. This table looks very fancy,
It's a
but
lovely fancy
underneath
table, Jay.
is chipboard.
Rough and ready. Rough and reliable, as they say.
It's rough anyway, so it is. We were on last night with Darren. Are you still sitting on a gas bottle, are you?
I do indeed, yeah.
Darren is a mighty man. Down there, he put out 13 seats for an audience and decided to sit himself on a gas
That's James is trying to clarify. There is fucking seats now.
For anyone that's coming down the next time, there's plenty of seats.
I don't want the idea of getting out that I have this poor man in the corner sitting on a gas bottle with pure badness.
Have a bit of timber for the top of it.
As you know, we like to talk to interesting characters from all walks of life, and we're definitely joined by an interesting character here this evening. That's Keith Kenny from Galway originally, and now he's all over Europe delivering goods of all descriptions in a refrigerated van. Keith, you're very welcome.
Thanks a million for having me.
Well, thanks for coming, because it's not everyone flies in from Poland for the show.
Well,
so, fair play to you.
Thanks a million for paying for the flight. And
you're welcome. We do it for all.
There wasn't a need for the room full of prazzies. Fair play to you. I appreciate that.
We like to entertain.
I tell you, I'm very entertained.
Yeah. Well, look, you dropped off the 2 suitcases and knocked, and we were very happy with that. So, as the wheels are turning, everyone is happy.
And thanks for the tub of the sheep dip. I think I'll need it after the room.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. But Keith, what's the call? I'm watching you on TikTok. You're mates with fellas that I do follow, Leather Me and the Harrington brothers and all that. And I find your things very entertaining, to be honest about it. You're doing some mileage.
I'm definitely doing some mileage. I only done the calculation on it there yesterday or the day before when I was doing up my paperwork, you know.
Yeah.
Around 87,000 kilometres done since the end of October last year.
Heckin' hell.
Yeah. No, that wouldn't be massive mileage to fucking everyone out there now, to be fair. I was talking to a Romanian lad there, and he's had his van since 2023, and there's 700,000 kilometres of it.
Yeah.
On an Iveco daily.
That's some mileage.
That is some fucking mileage. And he has no roof cab or bed behind him.
So he sleeps on the seat?
He sleeps across the fucking seat, so he does.
There are some awful hardy fellas in that line of work, though.
This lad was grand now. He was only fucking 5 foot, like.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see me fucking being able to do that now.
No. But
for fuck's sake, I'd wake up with my foot out through the fucking window.
But there's some fellas, and between living in the van and the whole lot, they never see their home at all, so they don't. They're just the van is the house, like.
Well, it's no more than a truck, like.
Yeah.
You have truckers there, sure. By the time they come home, like, they don't sleep well at home, like.
Yeah.
They'd sooner stay out in the truck, like. Like, in all fairness, like, the few deliveries I've done over here, like, the amount of offers there, stay at mine or whatever, like, no, genuine offers, not for the ride, like.
Yeah.
And, I'd have no bother fucking parking outside the house and using the fucking shower and whatever, like. And, but, like, I'd sooner stay in my own bed, like.
You just get used to it.
Well, you do, like, but it's your own space. It's like you're over in France. You're not allowed to stay in the van in France. So they book you into these hotels.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know whether you've seen the video that I done on the...
I know what some of these hotels look like. So I do.
The smell of fucking sick, steaming father's shame. I don't know how the fuck anyone would stay in it. Mother, like, I put up a video there the last day. I hear, for fuck's sake.
But what's it called? I was watching you there. You had one load, I think it was in Calais or that. And then, it was Hungary or some place you were bringing it to, wasn't it?
Well, like, there's a few, like, say that load now was going to Hungary. That was the Aussie Steaks.
Right.
But like I done a run there from France to Finland. So I did Tampere in Finland.
So you're really getting to see the different cultures of Europe and all that. So I have to ask you, what's your favourite country and what's your least favourite country and why?
I'm getting asked this, all right. Like I've no real favorite. Like I suppose Poland is my favourite. Like,
Yeah.
to be honest, number one, you don't have to pay to take a shite.
Yes.
Which is fucking lovely.
Yeah.
Do you know? I won't lie about that. Because Germany, it's the Euro dump. If you want to shite in the fucking side of the road, or you have these lay-bys there where you go in and sure it is a fucking piece of metal. It is a prison fucking dump would be better. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I unfortunately pay the euro like for a small bit of comfort. Like,
yeah.
But I'd say my worst, like the place that I hate most is probably Germany. Like, between parking issues, the cops, the rules and regs, all this shite. Like, do you know what I mean? And simply the fucking people, like, as well.
Yeah.
Like, I went up to a place there the last day, and I got to the security. Now, most places there, you'd pull up in a parking area and then you walk to security or whatever, like. But this place was different. You drive up to the gate so they can read your regs and all this shit, like. And I walked in and he started speaking German to me, like. Do you know, I handed him the CMR because I was collecting a lot. And he started speaking German to me, and I said, sorry, you know, I speak English, you know. And he was like, you're in Germany now, not England. And I said, first of all, I'm fucking Irish. You have my passport in front of you. And you were able to speak that to me. And he started shouting at German against me.
Yes.
And I said, I'm blocking your fucking gate. I don't give a fuck. I stay here all day.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't give a fuck. If you're going to be a dick to me, like, you know, like, if I could speak German, I'd fucking speak it to you, like.
Yeah.
You know, like, I say fucking Morgan and, you know, Dankeschön and Laden, you know, and all, like, but I don't have any more, like. I'm brutal when it comes to learning languages, like. You know?
Could you use the whole thing to your advantage in that, the whole phone? Do you know what that...
but they don't have the patience for the phone.
Right.
They don't have the fucking patience. They just go, nah, you know. Like, in all fairness, like, I know the French probably aren't very well liked. Do you have an extra there? No?
Yeah, here, or fire it on the floor either. Yeah, bring that one round your side, I'll fire it away.
I, like, in all fairness, with the French, they're just that little bit more laid back, like, do you know what I mean? And they'll spend a bit of time, and plus my French is a little bit better, like, do you know what I mean? Would be a little bit better.
How different languages have you a few bits of?
Basically only French, Polish, the tiniest bit of German.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fluent in Netherlands.
All right, in Dutch.
Yeah, because they all know how to speak English, so it's perfect. It comes to me like, you know, my natural language, like, you know.
Do you ever find that I'm guilty of this? If you're speaking to a foreigner in English, you start copying their accent.
Oh, my English has gone to fuck.
Yeah.
From speaking like over in Poland there before I started this job, like, you know, like I was a year and a half of, you know, not being on the road or anything. I was actually doing geese, farming geese.
Yeah.
So and like that, it was all broken English, like. And sure, I had no fucking clue how to speak. Really, like, you know, like, even I noticed as I wrote a text to the work, like, you know, that I was, you kind of get, when you're handing back the van, like, any problems or anything with it. And, like, I literally wrote, like, I bring van back 2 yards. Like, sure, like, that's not right at all. Like, I was looking back and I was going, here, I'm fucked, like. You know? But, like, see, you'd be writing this in such a way that it's easy for, you know, when you, like, because from me using Google Translate, if you actually write in how you fucking speak, like, it doesn't translate right at all. Like, do you know what I mean? Into different languages. Whereas if you do your broken English, it translates better. Do you know? Like, especially in Polish. Like, Cześć means fucking I don't know how many things. Nazdrovia means, like, if you're having a drink there, say we're cheering to a drink, like we're saying Nazdrovia, like, do you know what I mean? Well, if you sneeze, I say Nazdrovia, as in bless you. Do you know that kind of way? So, like, learning Polish is just a fucking disaster.
But is it a difficult language to learn, or is it a straight? Yeah,
fucking is. Like, there's no doubt about it. It is a difficult language to learn. But, like, in all fairness, like, I meet the Polish drivers out on the road, and they're as good. Like, you know, like, I've met some, like, seriously nice people. Like, there's one lad there, and he works with the same company as I do now. But we were pulled in France for the weekend, and fuck me, he made me breakfast and dinner and the whole fucking lot.
Yeah,
do you know? And, like, I met him again there in Lübeck, there, North Germany, there, the other day, Thursday, and he brought out over a beer to me, like, do you know what I mean? And, you know, saying if I'm laying up and you're laying up for the weekend, you know, we'll have a proper shindig, like, you know, the vodka. And I was never as glad that he got a load that day, and I was
they can drink.
Back to base.
By God, they can drink.
They can drink. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
And see, I ain't gone out of the drinking games ever since I moved over. Like, when I left Ireland, I was 18 and a half odd stone, like, you know. And, like, living over there, like, my health is definitely
improved.
Improved, like, there's no doubt about it. Like,
what do you put that down to? The diet, is it?
I'd say diet. Well, the diet definitely helped, because there was nothing but pork, and pork was running through me, and my whole looked like the Japanese flag there for a long fucking time. So there was definitely no fear of getting a surprise call from a lad. Anyway.
No.
Although no, I got a lesson there the last day. I was on live the last day, and I was getting parked up in fucking France for the weekend. And the Polish driver came over to me and he goes, "You realise because I had been in for a shower and it was 26 odd degrees out the towel."
Oh, you weren't hanging the towel out, you were?
I had the fucking towel hanging out the fucking on the wing mirror.
Yeah, that's
and he goes,
that's a no.
He said, "That's not for just a prostitute, that's for a male prostitute."
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah.
Well, you know,
Boy told me
it does get lonely, like.
Well, no, Boy told me that one time, he'd be a truck driver or that. He says, just don't hang out the towel.
Yeah.
And another
you
fellow
get
told me
a fair surprise now, like.
Well, I'll tell you a good one. There was a good mate of mine, and there was this lay-by on the Manchester to Liverpool road that was renowned for dogging, you know? And and it was he was putting in one evening, and this thing flashed the lights back at him. And he says, "What the fuck is up with this book?" I says, "I don't know." I says, "She's maybe flashed back at him."
Yeah.
He flashed back, and the next thing they came from all sides. He says, "You bastard!" He says, "You knew well what was going on." Well, I said, "I thought it was awful funny."
You're like deer coming out of the book.
Yeah.
But you know, I took a walk there. What was the name of the fucking city called where I was fucking staying in France there? It's south of Rouen, anyway.
Yeah.
And I said I'd take a good fucking walk around town or whatever. I wanted to see this cathedral. And sure, when I went down to see the cathedral, it was covered in fucking scaffolding. But anyway, and I was walking back, and a woman approached me. €100 for 20 minutes.
Gee, she must have been some gore.
I was like, what am I going to do for the other fucking 19?
Now, was there any bacon?
Now, looking at her now, it could have taken me 19 to get up and 1 minute to finish. But, like, I was on live with Mike the farmer and stuff there, and we're doing the mathematics on it, you know?
Yeah.
And we're saying, Jesus Christ, like, if she was any good, right, she'd have them knocked out in 10 minutes ago, right?
Yes.
And she could do a bit of overtime and get one more in the hour. That one, out of an 8-hour shift, she'd be coming out with €3,200.
But sure, it's the oldest profession for a reason as well.
By Jesus, I tell you something. It could be time for me to start identifying.
Well, I don't know, as I says, it's all good and well until they get a few years at it and start looking back, and
Well, when you go in and hello. Can anyone hear me? Hear me.
What's it called? What's the situation then with the company? Is it your own van or is it their van you're driving?
I'm only working for the company now, in all fairness.
All right, yeah.
I was looking for work out in Poland. Sure, obviously it was limited because of my fucking my status and stuff like that. Like, even as an EU citizen, you should have to register over in Poland and all this kind of crap. Like, do you know, and sure, it was daunting to be looking at that shit. Like, do you know, but like. I said, right, okay, delivery on the road, like, and I contacted, a few companies, and this company came back to me, and just were nothing but fucking helpful.
Yes.
Nothing but helpful. Like, I was hearing horror stories about getting the PESEL number. So the PESEL number is like your PPS number, like, you know. And I went up for the interview. They put me out in a van. Your man came with me, flew around. He says, sure, more than qualified to fucking drive this show, anyway, like, you know, because they're a big old fucking unit now, in all fairness, like, for a van, like, they're not like your air haulage van, like, do you know, like, there's a big old counting box in them, like, they're 3.5 meter tall, like, so it'd be easy to.
So she's more like a small rigid in a van, then.
She is, like, you know, but like, I got back to the office. Said 100% grand, signed me contract and all that. And I came to the PESEL number and I said, sure, I told you on the phone I don't have my PESEL number. Your one left the room. She came back 10 minutes later.
With a gun.
go to this office.
Yeah.
You'll have to go quickly because it closes at 3. And I went up to the office, had my PESEL number 20 minutes later.
Well, that's like when we went first to England. It's all changed now from what I've heard.
Well, fuck me, it has changed.
Yeah, because we went and I think it was a job centre or something. You went to get a national insurance number.
Yeah.
And then once you had the national insurance number, you just went to a bank and got a bank account. And then if you wanted to go self-employed, you just rang up a number and got a UTR number. I think that's all changed now, so it has.
Well, I tell you something, I was in UK only a few weeks ago and I don't want to go back. That is nearly match in Germany now.
It's very diverse.
Diverse? There's no fucking diversity over there. So
it's very diverse.
I don't think I met an English person. Is that?
Oh no, it's very.
For fuck's sake!
But
not just that.
And now a word from our sponsors.
You're probably always wondering what these bottles are all about. I'll give you a wee heads up. Folks, what we're going to talk about now is beetroot. Now, I've based my bottles around beetroot, and the benefits of the beetroot is it boosts athletic performances, helps stroke prevention, and that's what it does, massively helps benefit the heart. It's a natural immune booster. Listen, I would love to put a health claim in the bottle and say natural immune booster. We're not allowed to, but the bottom line is, when by any 4 weeks, you're not a one bottle wonder bottle, you'll not do it overnight. So try it for 4 weeks. It'll cost you no more than about €48. What's not to like about that?
When the storm hits and the power goes out, you shouldn't be left stuck. The handcrafted Donnelly rocket stove gives you reliable cooking anywhere, anytime. Using just small bits of wood, it's efficient, eco-friendly, and built to last. Cook outdoors with confidence, whether it's for emergencies, camping, or everyday use. Order yours today at donnellystoves.com and use code CONWAYEXP for €10 off your order.
I've been watching on TikTok for a while now, and I can only describe him as very awake to what's going on in Ireland with regards to a lot of different things. David Joyce, better known as the Block Layer. You're very welcome.
Thank you, James. Pleasure to be here.
Well, and fair play to you.
Like the companies I've worked for now, we done council houses there. It was one of the last jobs I done with them. And the council houses are totally overspec'd in my view. Mm-hmm. And the expense of them. Like, is crazy. And the way they're built, like, it's very easy to build houses quick. You build square rectangular houses, A-roofs. You will bang them up quick. But the way they're building houses now, they're like architecturally designed. There's stone on the front of them. They're over-engineered. They're over-designed in my eyes. Like, simply build a square box, A-roof, truss roof, bang them out. Like the old council houses years ago.
Yeah.
Plenty good enough. You know, you don't need to be going to all this extreme of air tightness, air to water, all of this. The cost of it is unreal. Like, you're looking at air tightness system, you could be talking like between 13 to 20,000 for an air tightness system by the time you have everything installed. And is it going to last over time? Probably not. You're going to be replacing that probably in 25 years or something like that. That's more added cost. I'm a great advocate for fossil fuel. I don't give a crap.
Yeah.
You know, turf, timber, coal. We're a dot in the ocean. What we put out is minimal. Like, why can't they just leave it simple? Or even put gas in, oil in. You know, keep the costs down for people. This crack of air to water. Power goes, you've no heat in your house.
There's a lot of people finding that out this winter.
Yeah.
Because, you know, one of the things that's happened with regards to the data centres and all of these commercial units is, you know, the ESB network has expanded an awful lot.
Hugely.
And, like, a little issue that no one is really talking about is the amount of forestry that was planted. Now you have lines that are in forestries, and if a tree goes or a pole goes, they're very difficult to get at to fix.
Yeah.
You know, there's just a couple of weeks ago there'd be an area close to here, Coolfodder, that there was people without power for 10, 11 days.
That's it, like.
And if you're without, if you're on an air to water system and you don't have a Jenny to back it up, or anything, you are in trouble.
You're in trouble. And there's a false narrative going around that will say you're not allowed to put a chimney in your house anymore. That's absolute crap. Because I don't work there for, he's an architect, he's an engineer, he does planning for houses, everything. And I quizzed him on this. And I said, is it true, like, that you can't put a chimney in a house? He said, no. He said, that's misinformation that they've put out. He said, because they don't want people putting in fires. They don't want people putting in stoves to burn timber or coal or turf, whatever. He said, so they put out this misinformation. And a lot of people aren't wise to it. And a lot of people designing these houses will not put in a chimney. But from his point of view, he said, there's no rule saying that you cannot put a chimney in your house. And he said, I always advise people to put a chimney in your house because if your air to water goes down, you have the backup off your open fire or your stove to keep you warm in them situations where you don't have power. So, again, misinformation. The government go on about misinformation, disinformation. They're the biggest spreaders of it in my eyes.
Oh, well, certainly. Well, if you take something like turf, and I always say it about turf, in my opinion, there was no concern about the carbon output at all. What the concern was that there was, maybe not a large industry, but an industry that was basically ran off the books.
Yeah.
And, you know, there mightn't have been too much attention paid to tax and things like that.
That's the other side of it, like.
And then, as well as that, you were not reliant on the government for your heating.
Exactly.
You know, you were in a community, you had the turf cutter down the road, you got your plot off him, and you used your own machinery and that to get it home. There was no government required.
No.
There was no licenses. There was none of this required. So,
none of it.
You know, I'm of the opinion with the turf that if you're in a situation where you ban an industry in your own country and then import briquettes from another country, it was never about carbon.
Never. And how does it make sense? Like where we worked above in Offaly there.
Yeah.
Like all them power stations, the turf was there, like the bogs. Didn't they wet all them bogs? Made them useless.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was their plan anyways. I don't know whether they went ahead of it or not. But they've made them bogs obsolete now, like.
Yeah.
And import, is it from Lithuania or Germany or somewhere like that?
Yeah.
Importing all that. As you said, it's not about carbon. It's not about the footprint that they're trying to wipe out, you know? So, I think it's government trying to make people reliant on them.
Well, that would be my opinion of it as well, David.
Yeah.
You know, in a lot of regards, I look around at the moment And the government has introduced itself into areas that it was never present in before.
No.
And, you know, I would have heard the older people years ago when the NCT first came out and all of that. Fair enough, we can do these things in safety, but it's the government getting involved in something that previous to that was a personal arrangement. It was an arrangement between you and your mechanic.
Exactly.
And it was an arrangement between you and your insurance company. Now you have a state organisation put in place, and then all of a sudden it's sold to another country.
Yeah. Spain, I believe.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And from what I'm reading, the fees are going up this year on the NCT. And I'll tell you a good one. I had sat there it was a Honda Accord actually. I had it there about 4 years ago. And I knew the two bushings are gone on the back of it. I knew myself. I wouldn't be a great man of mechanics, but you know when bushings are gone on the back of a yoke. Put it through the NCT. Straight through.
Yeah.
Not an issue. I brought back a newer car about a year later. And I put it through the mechanic. He'd done everything with it, made sure it was perfect. They failed it on bushings that I'd put into it. On brand new bushings. So, this NCT in my eyes is a money racket.
Yeah.
You know, and putting up the fees again this year and the backlog in it, and it's...
Well, from what I'm told, it's not only the NCT, the tests as well, the theory test and the physical test and all that. They're all meant to go up.
Everything's gone up again, like, and how does a young fella or young girl... Like, how many lessons do they have to do now to...
12 at the moment.
12?
Yeah.
Like, that's a big cost to put on.
Massive.
You know.
Massive.
And if you've a good young lad that we'll say grew up in a farm, knows how to drive a tractor all his life, and knows well how to drive a car, he doesn't need 12 lessons to...
No.
You know, some people do, obviously. Don't get me wrong, but I think it should be down to the discretion of the instructor to say, look, I think you're ready... to go for your test.
Well, I was in that situation. I got my first provisional. I actually done the theory before I was 16, that and you could at that time. And I got my first provisional on the motorbike. And I had been driving for probably a year when I applied for the car. And I went down to Sligo and I'd done my first lesson. And the instructor told me that. He says, book your test.
Yeah.
And he says, you know your indicators, all this. And I said, well, I've been driving a bike for a year.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he says, book your test. He says, you're okay. You know what to do at the roundabout. Do you know? And there's no allowance made for that anymore.
There's none left for that.
Know?
And, like, we go back just to construction there, we say apprentices. Like, you start off the first year apprentice.
Yeah.
Your starting wage is like €7.61 an hour.
Yeah.
So worked it out over 40 hours is about $280 before tax. So you're probably coming out about $250. Let's say €250 a week. How are you supposed to do 12 driving lessons, get insurance, get a car?
You see, this is my issue with it. I don't understand how you have a leaving cert at 17 or 18.
Yeah.
How come this is not incorporated into the academic, that every young person who leaves school, whether they have access to a car or not, is able to drive?
Yes.
You know, that'd be a very simple thing to introduce, that will say most classes in Ireland have 30 in the class. In my opinion, there should be a learner car outside that school with a young man and a young woman once a week doing a lesson in that car, and that when they're finished their academic, because when you're going to college and all these things,
that's it, like.
And there's a lot of families who, you know, they can't afford it.
That's the other side of it, like. I 100% agree with you. I think from fourth year on, we'll say transition year, I think you start doing your theory from there.
Yeah.
Start basic, start your theory, learn the rules of the road. Next year, as you said, have a class a week, couple of classes a week, whatever you have to do, and start burning them on from there. You know, schools, I'm sure, have big enough yards that they can set out a little obstacle course of cones, teach them how to do a figure of 8, you know, basic things like that. And I think, rather than wasting kids' times on subjects that they're never going to use when they get out in the big bad world, teach them things that is going to be beneficial to them. Give them a chance. And when they turn 18 and get their first care, they have that behind them. They have basic knowledge. Their insurance should come down because they have that basic knowledge. It gives them a better chance of getting on in life because, as you say, families can't afford to go buy new car. Like even a second-hand car now, look at the price of them.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Like, whereas 0-8 you could pay up maybe 2,500-3,000, and how many families have that?
And then for the insurance, you're looking at the same.
You could be speaking 2,500 for 3,000 for a young lad starting out, for a young girl.
Well, you see, this is where my trouble of it is as you leave the school, unless you're going to college or that, the wages are pretty small.
Oh, yeah.
And the expenses are huge.
Huge, yeah.
And, you know, I was often a little bit annoyed about that. I used to have friends that used to modify cars and buy alloys and this, that, the other. And people would say, oh, they're revving up and down the road and all the rest. They were looking after that car as if it was a person.
Oh, definitely.
It was their pride and joy.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of the adults were realising how little money they had and the little bit extra that they had went into the car.
Oh, definitely. Like, these lads aren't out drinking at the weekend and acting the bollocks. Like, that car was like their child, and they were pristine, like.
Yeah.
Like, everything about the car was pristine, putting on these body kits. Like, a lot of my own mates had these cars, and there's a lad there actually in Kilwalla, he's Martin Cannon. He's a mechanic there, has his own place, sells a few Jeeps. He always had modified cars.
Yeah.
Lad never drank in his life.
Yeah.
But he would be out, but he would not be drinking. He'd be concentrating on his cars, and that was his thing. But as you say, a lot of the older people didn't realise that.
Yeah.
You know.
Because if I was in a financial position there a few years back, because I think the unfortunate reality is a lot of young people are gone now. But in the northwest of Ireland, it was crying out for a track. It was crying out for a track.
Exactly.
And that nobody had the foresight to say, well, instead of all these people meeting on a wide stretch of the main road at night, let them come here. Let's get floodlights in. Let's have, a track that they can spin around. And
that's it. It's a safe environment.
Yeah.
They're not putting anyone at risk then.
Yeah.
And rather than biddies giving out, going, oh, look at the circles on the road, look at this. Like you said, give them a safe space to go out and do their thing at night.
Yeah.
Or in the evening.
Yeah.
Let them throw a fiver to go into it, keep it ticking over, whatever.
Yeah.
There's always a solution to these problems, rather than giving out and bitching about them. Look at the solutions and give these young lads solutions. They're safe, they're not going to hurt anyone.
Yeah. But on the point there we were chatting about earlier, and the apprenticeship point, I think it was last year or the year before, I think there was 4 young fellas in the country who signed up to be a plasterer.
That's it, like.
And I'm not joking. That's insane.
It is insane.
We're talking about a situation where we might have to build 40 to 50,000 houses a year, and four young fellas in the room.
4 young fellas out plastering, like, it's disgraceful. But I was just looking up, like, if you're a new entrant coming into construction, this is now going off the CFI rates. If you're a new intern coming in, just going labour and not doing an apprenticeship, I think you get about, I've wrote down there, I think it's what? Yeah, you get 16.20 an hour coming in. You have no experience coming in.
Yeah.
You're an apprentice coming in.
Yeah.
You get €7.
Yeah.
Like, why would any young fella go into it when you're getting €7 an hour, and you get someone then that's just going labouring and they're getting over €16 an hour?
Yeah.
And they're not going to progress to be anything. They're just being a labourer at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Not saying that they won't go on to be an apprentice, but if you go from being on €16, you're hardly going to go back to €7 to be an apprentice then, are you?
Yeah.
So, like, I have a great mindset. I know when I started out being an apprentice, I started out actually plumbing.
Yeah.
And I worked above in Mutton Island in Galway. I used to leave the house at 6 o'clock in the morning. I used to get back at 7 in the evening. I was getting €150 a week. That's what I started out on. Fair enough, I didn't mind. I was building towards something. So after 6 months then, I said to the boss, I'd hardly done any plumbing. I think I'd done 3 days plumbing in the space of 6 months. And I did enjoy it when I did get a chance at it. But I said after 6 months to your man, I said, any chance of getting a few pound extra? Like, I'm doing nearly 13-hour days and I'm getting €150 a week. I said, he said, you should be privileged to have an apprenticeship with us. I said, the best thing you can do now is stick your job up your hole, I said.
Yeah.
And I walked
live on it.
It couldn't. And I packed in the plumbing then, and I was kind of loose in. I said, will I go back at it, will I not? And I'm the type of fella, I love carpentry, block laying. I love any part of construction, concrete, whatever. I just love being stuck in that. So I seen a block laying apprenticeship, and I went for that. Now, the money wasn't an awful lot better. He started me on $220 a week.
Yeah.
But my money went up quicker. Now, I never got the chance to go to college.
Yeah.
Because we'd a man there there's only two of us, the boss, labourer, and myself. So and it was back around the boom time, and we were blown in Charlestown on a housing estate, and we were just bashing out houses. And luckily, I was one of the lucky ones. I never had to do much labouring.
Yeah.
I kind of basically put in the trowel. Now, I was put with the labourer every morning, learn how to mix, and I'd be giving him a hand during the day. But I'd also, while the boss would be building the corners, I'd be stacking out with the labourer. He'd be giving me, the basic run of things, and then I'd start running the walls with the boss. But I think as an apprentice, when they're taken on as an apprentice, they're abused.
Yeah.
You're the runaround for them. You're the dog. You get dogged. I know block lane's a tough game. Plastering's a tough game. And I can see why young fellas don't want to get into it because, like we said, weather-wise.
Yeah.
And it is tough on the body.
Yes.
It is very tough on the body, and plastering's a tough job on the body, but
there is the opportunity though to, if you're good at it, to make a considerable amount of money.
Oh, there is. Don't get me wrong. If you I've often thought about going out on my own.
Yeah.
Often thought about it.
Here this evening, I have Ireland's most famous car dismantler at the moment, Mr. Kev. How are you doing?
Good.
And now I've met fellas, and they said they never knew that there was a car dismantler in Ballyhonus. And you done this TikTok, and now I think basically every man that's into cars in the country knows where you are. And you have a good stock. You have a good stock of stuff.
A massive stock of old stuff that I had completely just thought it was worthless. In my head, when you grow up around that stuff, it becomes kind of a thing that these cars aren't on the road anymore. You're not going to sell them. People put them on eBay. That's time consuming. You're talking thousands and thousands of parts. So I was like, right, and getting rid of, from 2020 on, I've done a massive clean up of the yard and cleaning up all the old stuff. They weren't selling, the bits weren't selling, 1992 Carina E. You don't see them on the road, they're not crashing, no one wants the parts. So I've done a big, massive clear out. And I just decided I'll make a TikTok, not really knowing that it was public or whatever. I didn't realise it would go as big as it did. I think in all my friends on TikTok, I had 63 friends, and they're all rally heads and they're all cars. They want a few panels there, work away. Next thing, I think 200,000 people watched that video, and the phone started hopping.
That was the video with the wings, wasn't it?
No, it was body panels. It was bonnets and doors and stuff like that. And then it went on to the wings. There was loads of parts in my yard that hadn't been touched in a decade. Hadn't been documented or nothing. I didn't know what was in there myself.
Because, if you were into old cars or tractors or anything like that, what you done was basically exposed a gold mine.
Yeah, but sure, I had lost the spark. I didn't realise. I didn't think that there was such a backing, there was such enthusiasm over this stuff. I just thought, this stuff isn't on the road. No one wants its parts. When was the last time you seen a Sierra crashing? Who's going to want a bonnet off Sierra? Who's going to want a wing off Sierra?
Yeah.
So then I was dumping everything. I was throwing everything out, making way for all the new stuff, all this electric goodies that are meant to be coming, getting space ready for batteries and just getting all set up that way. And oh, sorry, yeah, keep forgetting about the mic.
Nah, don't want to do the sound. But you see, I can't emphasise it enough. There's men all over this country that has sheds full of stuff that they think is, crap.
Yeah.
And you have the part that some man in another part of the country, or maybe even the UK or that, is looking for. Do you know?
Yeah, but I'm not going to lie. I really did think it was all no one.
Were you?
I thought there was enough spurious parts that people are making reproductions of all these parts. Who'd want that part? I didn't think that an original rusty old wing like that now over there would be so valuable to some man.
Yeah.
But I just didn't think there was enough men out there, just enough people to buy that stuff. Like, I was kind of thinking it's just sitting there, it's wasting our space, it's there for a decade. I had loads of these stores around, and like, I threw out tens and thousands of lights and everything that are pre-00, pre-90s into the 80s. Things that are just...
Can't get them.
And I'm wide open, and my eyes are wide open now.
But when you said it, had you... How will you say it? You're running your business with your dad.
Yeah.
And your dad is in his 70s or that.
Yeah.
Had you kind of said... Because I bet you, Shillen, he held on to all that stuff because that was the mentality. They were thinking there'll be a use for that.
I know he got that mentality. I used to be the hoarder. I used to hoard everything. I'd be, there'll be a use for that, there'll be a use for that. But he had got me into the mentality of get rid of it or it'll build up.
Yes.
And every year we'd done a clean up on certain things we had down the yards because we have sheds full of parts and we documented them. But if they aren't selling and they're there over 10 years, you're just going to get rid of them. And he was the fella who kind of threw out everything. And I said, right, we're going at this store and we're going at it big. Like, we're going to get rid of everything. This, like, shelving, I was like, dump everything, all new everything going into this now. And for all these new, fresh parts. But, as I said now, it's completely changed. Like,
but doesn't it go to show you that in the modern age, if you don't have the kind of social media angle, you're missing a trick.
Oh, yeah.
You're really missing a trick.
Oh,
like
yeah.
you must have seen a big upsurge in business out of this.
That first video I put up was on the Friday, and I remember my friend ringing me going, "Do you know that video I put up is hitting 20,000 people have watched it?" And I was like, next thing the lads from the store ringing, "Oh, there's a fella there on about some TikTok you made there. He's seen a bonnet or a boot lid." And next thing the phones kept going and going. I ran into the Saturday and myself and my father worked the Saturday by just ourselves on Saturday. It's quiet. All the Saturdays are quiet. People come in slowly. The phones ring slowly. From the minute we walked in, 9 o'clock, we have 3 phones in the store and they're all different lines. They're always going 3 different times. I've done a recording on Snapchat to show the lads like this has gone stupid. My father's just standing there in front of the screen of the computer. No one answering the phones because we couldn't keep up with them. Like, could not keep up with them at all. It was nuts. He just stood there with his cup of tea, the phones ringing, 3 different phones ringing at 3 different times. Every time you answer the phone, put the phone down, that phone would keep ringing, another fella coming in. There was on the computer, there was a 14 waiting list, 14 calls waiting. Never seen anything like it. And I got given out to that day, I tell you, and the Monday.
But
he didn't understand.
But they'd come round when they see.
Oh, he came around. He came around. The first time in the Monday. Then he was shut it down. Shut the TikTok down. It's taking too much time. They're literally all the time ringing TikTok. Do you have? We didn't know what we had either. Nothing was documented. So we're 3 of us going around this looking for different panels and stuff for different people and holding stuff. And I was giving away a lot of it too. I was like, listen, instead of skipping it, I'll give away these. So I was like, come and collect it, and you can have it before I dump it. And then after a while, people were coming and they were like, fair play to you. And they were shaking my hand and they're going to my father like, geez, fair play to him. Like, instead of just dumping them, you're giving them up to people and you're giving them a second chance and you're giving them away cheap too. I was just like, listen, if people want to give me 10 or 20 quid for a grand, let work away. He turned a leaf, completely turned a leaf. And then we decided to have an open day on the following Saturday.
Yes.
And I said that at the end of one video, like, and I remember after saying it, and that video was up at like 40,000 views, and I was like, Jesus,
how many people is coming here?
If 100 people of that 40,000 come in at the same time, we're going to be wedged, like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I said it at the end, and I was afraid to promote it after that, but we had a little coffee stand, and after we had a fella come in with a coffee stand, and...
Had you many for the day?
It was a constant flow.
Yeah.
On a Saturday, a constant 4 hours, we made more in 4 hours money than we have in a full day Friday with a team of 7 of us, like. It was nuts.
It's hard to appreciate. You see, there's so many businesses in the country, and you know, a lot of them have missed the trick on the kind of internet stuff and the social media and that. Like, there was a hardware. It was local enough to here. Now, I I won't say which one it was, do you know, because I'd have to pass it by the manager or that, but I was in getting timber.
Yes.
And it was during the pandemic. And I basically said, you know, you have no internet presence at all. And he kind of says to me, well, people knows where we are and all that. And I went, yeah, but Mary in Kildare doesn't know who you are. Or Johnny in Loud doesn't know who you are. And I was travelling a good bit of the country, and I knew that they were a bit cheaper than a lot of places.
Yes.
And he launched a website, and it's going very well for them. It's going very well for them. And that's where I'd be. Do you know, there's a lot of older traditional businesses, and I'm telling you, unless they embrace it and get on the train with it, they're going to be left behind. That's the trouble.
I'd kind of disagree, because we spent a lot on advertising. We spent a lot on our website.
Yeah.
And we spend a lot every month maintaining our website.
Yeah.
With a different company, like we're in affiliation with a different company, we'll say.
Yeah.
And they maintain it and they do all that, and we have to upload all the cars and stuff like that. But we pay them for that maintenance of that website. But it wasn't getting the traffic. It gets the traffic. It does. They have every month they'll have the sheets and stuff. But like even Google Ads or whatever will say you'll be spending, if you spend $500 a month on it.
Jeez, I wouldn't spend nothing that.
Well, see, I was trying different things. I was trying to bring us out a bit more or whatever, you know. Yeah. Doing a lot. I done a lot with Google. I done a lot with ads, and I tried different things, magazines, and you're paying all the time. You'd nearly have to, like I was always saying, we'll have to budget for advertising throughout a year. But what could you'd nearly have to budget something like, for a business our size, $5,000 is nothing for a budget for that.
Yeah.
Like, and you might, if you made a Google ad, you might see a couple of calls that someone would say then if they did a call, I seen you on Google, or I seen you here. Yeah. I made a TikTok video, and nothing but people ringing now is, I seen the TikTok video.
Yeah, but
everything is.
That'd be my angle of it. The social media, don't ever underestimate the reach of it.
Yeah.
Do you know, like in 2016, I was a young lad sitting in a digger in England, and then all of a sudden, me parents was ringing me, what have you done? Do you know? Neighbours, this one, that one, Jesus Christ, this video is all over the place. But as a business, if you're not giving yourself the opportunity to have that moment, we'll say, you know, you're missing a trick. So yeah. Do you know? Like what you done there is probably blasted all your advertisement money for the past 10, 20 years into proportion that what you done in 30 seconds or a minute meant more than all of that. Do you know? Yeah. And this is why, do you know, I kind of look at, and some people might write them off, the kind of influencer and, you know, a quick video about the business or that.
Yeah.
I don't write them off, because as far as I'm concerned, I think they do a lot for a business. Do you know?
And we're trying different things like that and finding something that will work for that business.
And as well as that, you're now the face, and your dad is the face of the business. Whereas with a lot of the conventional advertising, you never really get to know.
That's another story in itself. Before I made that TikTok video, when I was showing, we'll say, all the shelves and stuff like that, my friend Stephen was beside me, and I said to him, like, it started to blow up, and he was there, geez, that's blowing up, like, and I said, will I be one of those fellas that you'll only see my hand pointing at everything, or will I show my face? And he goes, sure, you only have 100, there's only less than 100 followers. I don't think you'll get many followers from doing this anyway. I was like, I'll show your ugly mug, he said. And I just turned the camera around and started talking into it. Other than that, you'd be just seeing my hand. Like, it was just his quick, I'll show your ugly mug, who's going to see it moment that flipped the camera around, and then it was my face.
You owe that man a pint.
I owe that man a pint. He's a great man. And he's been great. He's been great throughout.
But it is the truth. If you have a face to a business, a character, anything like that, you know, take them, for instance, and I do love watching their videos, and that is do you know the Grassmen fellas?
Yeah.
Do you know? But really what they're doing is documenting a job that most of us in the farming community knows a bit about, which is bringing in the silage or that. But it's the characters.
The characters, yeah.
It's them lads themselves and who they travel round to, and you get to kind of know the people. And
But did you ever find, you do, like we'll say with the grassmen and all that, did you ever find that when you're doing that sort of job, you're doing it, you know it, it's repetitive to you, but yet you see yourself watching someone else do it later that evening? I never could understand that. Like, even with me, I'm doing that work, and it never clicked that people actually who do that work are very interested in what I'm doing too. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, the how do I say it? I suppose really where it clicked for me was when I started putting up more of the farm, and then myself and Darren, we were kind of looking at a group. It was called Off Grid Ireland, and it was people talking about homesteading and natural remedies and stuff like that. And all of a sudden you realise, like, how many's on that? Would there be 30, 40,000 people on that, Darren?
Maybe a couple of thousand.
Yeah. I think 40 PR said the other evening that are...
I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be surprised.
But all of a sudden you realise I'm not the only one who kind of is interested in this thing, you know, and